Hey guys, it's Lex Roche
and Courtney Noir,
and you are listening to another episode of The Pleasure's All Yours.
We are a podcast all about the sexual liberation of the Black and queer communities.
We really wanted to create a space for us to talk, laugh, kiki, and really emphasize how the pleasure is.
It's all yours. Hey Lex Roche.
What's up, Courtney Noir?
What the fuck's going on?
Oh, just another day.
It's just been another fucking day.
Another day.
Retrograde shit, right?
Right.
Oh my God, it's our 100th episode.
It is.
This is so exciting for us. We have literally been through so much. Just shooting the shit. Thank you guys for listening, because I know there's a handful of you guys that have definitely listened to all 100 episodes.
Literally been rocking with us since we started.
So that feels really fucking good. Yes. So 100 episodes. That's nuts. Oh, also, I noticed that we reached like 1,000 views on our first YouTube video.
Oh, I love that.
I love that for us.
You know, I'll pop in every now and then to look at the analytics, but I know that's like, I let you handle the YouTube, Spotify, and I don't really I'm like, if something is concerning, Courtney will tell me.
That's how I feel about the socials.
Yes.
I'm just like,
yeah,
my ministry.
I didn't post last week, but
hey,
I feel like I get in these moments where I'm like, dude, I don't even want to look at my phone.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah,
I definitely
and that's how I was feeling last week. So
yeah, it can be tough.
Yeah,
and you put in a lot of work. I feel like it's okay. Yeah. Like, it is what it is. Okay. So every episode we like to start off with a pleasure moment, and that is essentially just like the best part of our week, the part that gave us a little bit more pleasure, that made us feel nice and comfy. It could be as small as a cup of coffee or as big as winning an Olympic gold medal. Lex, what was your pleasure moment?
I didn't win a medal.
You didn't win a medal.
I didn't.
I mean, you definitely could have won a medal.
Yeah.
For fattest ass.
Fattest ass.
Fattest ass.
You could win one for juiciest coochie.
Oh, I could. You're right. I've been drinking my water, bitch.
Yeah, then we could be, we're already two peas in a pod. But
yeah, we'll be two gold medalist peas in a pod.
Fat ass wet coochie in a fucking pod.
What a combo. Yeah. I love that.
What
What was your pleasure moment?
This past weekend, I went to Houston and to go see Ashake, an Afrobeats artist. If you're gonna go check him out, check out his old stuff.
Okay.
I'm just gonna say
you
that.
didn't like his new album?
I didn't, and I was kind of like irritated that we went to Houston, and then both of us were like, "This could have been better," you know. But I did go see my niece.
Okay.
And I also went to go see my aunt, which was really nice. My aunt was so excited to see me. My niece also was really excited to see me. And just like every time I see her, I'm like, did you get taller? Did you get prettier? Like,
she literally did.
And I just love her so much. And she just, auntie, immediately jumps. I feel like
did she start school?
She did, yeah.
Okay.
She started the 3rd grade.
Wow.
So
she is tall.
She is so tall for a 3rd grader. If you look at her, you're like, she's 10. And it's like, nope, she's 7.
Yeah.
This bitch is tall. But my brother was really tall, so it makes sense that she would be tall.
Wow.
Yeah. And what else? Yeah, when my aunt saw me, she hugged me 3 times. And I'm like, you just saw me a couple weeks ago, girl. You just came to my house. We was just kicking it.
Yeah.
But she was so excited to see me. And my cousin who moved here for a woman.
Okay.
Like niggas do, they will uproot and move.
Sometimes the love is that strong, Lex. Okay.
The love wasn't strong enough, okay, because he's back in Beaumont.
Okay. Sometimes the love is quick. It's so strong that it burns out just as quick.
I'm like, you reminded me of a lesbian sometimes. Because, how do you move in with every person that you've been with?
Okay.
It's given lesbian.
It is given lesbian.
Yeah.
It's given island of Lesbos.
Yeah. But then I also went to Waffle Bus.
Okay. You love Waffle Bus.
I do. And I had a nice little Irish cream strawberry waffle.
Okay, that sounds fun.
Going on.
That sounds really fun.
It was delish.
Okay. One day, you'll bring me back some.
Hey, it would just be soggy by the time it got to you. We'll just
Amazon
have to go
air
together.
it to me.
We'll just have to go together.
Yeah, I guess that's true. We could do that. I've been wanting to go take a little side trip to Houston for a while.
Yeah.
My pleasure moment was probably my trip to San Francisco. Well, I went to the outskirts of San Francisco, but I kind of like had this idea for my trip other than working where like I wanted to spend it like with other people or like meet other people or just like get into some hoe shit or something. I don't know what I was like.
Was gonna do some shit for the plot.
Yeah, just for like, exactly, just do some shit for the plot. But like when I got there, it just like the universe kept saying like, no, bitch, you need to be by yourself. Like, no, bitch, you need to be by yourself. I slept through the only dinner I actually had planned with somebody. And then when I woke up, it was like 10 o'clock. I went to Target and grabbed some snacks, came home. I was on my period. Then I woke up the next morning early to try to go into the city, and the Ubers ended up being like $80 one way. So I just chose to like forego that and stay my ass in the city that I was in, so like Redwood area, and that was great. I ended up like finding like a really nice French bakery, and I got some nice pastries and some macarons, and I walked to the Central Park. And like inside the Central Park, they had little Japanese gardens and koi fish and like really interesting plants and vines. And yeah, I saw somebody get engaged at this like area in, I guess they're hills or mountains. I don't know what they are, bitch. I think they're probably hills. But
they're higher than sea level pieces of land.
100%. Yeah. And it was like this water temple, like surrounded by trees, and like it was beautiful. And I saw these cute little couple getting engaged. So
I love that.
Yeah, I spent the afternoon by myself.
Someone has to indulge in that institution.
Oh my God, yeah. I was like, wow, straight people are really doing it for the rest of us.
Because I don't even know if I'm going to do it, girl.
I just don't know. Yeah, so that was my pleasure moment.
Oh, I love that. I'm so glad that you got to spend some time in nature.
I did, lots of time in nature.
And watch a Romeo and Juliet happen. Not the suicide part.
We don't know that yet.
Okay.
We haven't gotten that
That
far.
is true. I haven't looked at the obituary. You're right.
Don't count it out, honey.
Okay.
All right. I don't have a fun fact today, but I do have a Courtney fun fact.
So a fun fact.
Yes. Today is my IUD anniversary. So today marks 2 years that I got my IUD. And I just wanted to like step on this platform and really give a PSA out to the IUDers and the IUD wannabes. Do it, bitch. It is probably like the best decision I have made for my reproductive health. It's just, I don't have to think about it. It's just literally in my pussy. And then I get it taken out of my pussy every 5.5 years. And
got a little baby Jesus in your
I
cervix.
do. And he's protecting me from everything. Yes. Okay, he's got me. He's got my intentions at heart. And especially considering like just the political landscape, you just really never know what these people are going to do next. And so like you have to think of yourself first. And it's great to have that option as a long-term form of birth control. It's also made my period nice and light. Like the bitch is bleeding, spotting even for 35 hours, literally. And then she's just disappearing. Very mindful, very demure.
Very cutesy.
Like, very fucking cutesy. I really love my cycle right now. Although I definitely still get cramps, like, for sure. And I still get, like, all of the other symptoms. But, like, the fact that I'm not bleeding is very helpful. And I would say my symptoms are probably, like, a lot shorter now. Yeah. So, anyway, I'll get off my soapbox. But it does hurt. But it's brief.
It's gonna hurt going in.
Yes. And my OB actually told me last month, like, I was going to see her for something else, and she was like, yeah, they're doing more studies and research about how to help with the pain of IUD insertion. Finally, like, they're finally realizing that, oh yeah, it might hurt to get a metal rod shoved up your cervix hole. Like, yeah, that's uncomfortable for women. So now we're figuring out ways other than like injecting the cervix with lidocaine, which is what I had done, and actually was not bad. It feels like a lot of pressure for the shot, but then after that you really don't feel much. You just feel them, like how I described it is scraping in, like, it feels like a scraping in your uterus. Like you can feel it like a cramp, but it actually feels like somebody's taking a little scraper and just going like,
I wish y'all could see my face right now. I'm not enjoying this visual.
But I hope that didn't like scare you. I hoped it.
She said, disclaimer.
It
This
doesn't.
could cause eye cancer.
Absolutely
But
not.
you should still get it.
Fake
no,
news.
like those. No, like you know those commercials where they're like, this could cause erectile dysfunction.
This can cause a wicked good time, okay? Because I still ovulate, so that means my pussy still gets super juicy and has like a fun few weeks of the month where it's just like all my discharge is the same. So it's not like for me, birth control pills, they wiped away everything. So like I just wasn't getting as wet. I wasn't horny. But like with this IUD, I haven't experienced any weight gain. I haven't experienced a whole lot of mood swings. Maybe my first few months for sure, but like it's leveled out. So anyway, that's my TED Talk. Thank you.
I love that. Mm-hmm. Perfect.
So speaking of IUD, for our pleasure principle today, we'll be talking about oralism.
I don't know what that has to do with an IUD, but I'm following.
Okay, Lex, what do you know what oralism is?
I would assume.
Okay.
It has something to do with cunnilingus.
No, but I can see why you would think that because of the oral.
Yeah, you know, I'm just using my context clues.
Right, and like if this were a spelling bee, bitch, you would be wrong. But
yikes. Hey, my name's not Akila and this ain't the bee, okay?
I know that's right. Okay. Well, oralism is a sexual fetish defined as arousal or excitement caused by sounds. And that's pretty general. Because it can be like sexual and non-sexual sounds that cause you to be aroused. So like even if it's like the jingling of an ice cube in the glass, if it makes your pussy wet, makes your clitoris swell, then that is an oral fetish, okay? An oral fetish.
Clit swell is just crazy.
Clit swell is like a great term for me. I just feel like it's
because that is what it does.
It does, literally.
It does indeed swell.
Would you prefer me to say clitoral engorgement?
I don't like the word engorged.
If my clit ain't engorged,
when I think of engorged, I think of like a belly that's so full of food that it's like veiny and the belly button's popping out. Like you're engorged with it.
That sounds kind of like the clit, though.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, visually, yeah.
That's what it looks like, a swollen belly with veins. Got it.
Essentially. So some examples of sexual and non-sexual sounds would be getting turned on by the sounds of your partner's moans, stirring a good pot of mac and cheese, you know, like that. Maybe like a nice Alfredo pasta, perhaps.
That 5 cheese mac and cheese.
Oh yeah, the one where you really have to work that wooden spoon.
You can't use a plastic spoon; it's too bendy.
And all the cheese gets hard and stuck. Boom. Certain frequencies can also elicit like sexual responses. So listening to certain sound bowls or vibrational frequencies can help with that. Someone's voice. So if you listen to our podcast, maybe while you're going to sleep, because you just really like to hear 2 sexy women talk about sexy topics, you're an oralist, baby. And then lastly, of course, we have ASMR. People are pretty familiar with that. But yeah, so Lex, what are some sounds that stimulate you sexually?
There are a lot of them, I feel like, and like I've been sitting here trying to think of more of them, but the like craziest one that like literally no matter who I tell this to, they're always like, you're insane.
Okay.
Is like a taser stun gun thing, like just turning it on.
Okay.
Really like
the buzz, like that clicking, like it's like
it's the electric. Oh my god, yeah, like
it makes your pussy throb.
Like throb.
It gets you excited.
Like I feel like I have to squeeze my thighs and my knees together because like I really am like, oh my god. Like one of our friends came over and they have like a flashlight on their keychain that's also a stun gun, and I just kept like I was like, oh my god. Like I'm thinking about it right now, and I'm like, Yeah, fuck. I love that sound.
Is it like, does it make you want to use it on somebody, or does it make you want to use it on yourself?
It makes me, like, I know that if I were to touch it to my cooch, that it would just be game over. Like,
Game
that's not,
over.
like, that's not a good idea. But the way it sounds, it makes me want to. Even though I know that I shouldn't. Like, because why would you do that?
You do like electro play. So would you go
do.
as far as getting a cattle prodder, like, situation? Or is that a little too...
So I really love the sound of those. And, like, there's one in particular. It's like a red. It has, like, a black handle, and it's a red, like, it looks like a riding crop. But on the end, it's, like, two tiny metal pieces. And when you touch it to something, it zaps. Mm-hmm. I want one of those.
Okay.
Because, like, the sound of it is, like, insane. Just the sound of it is so good. I also, like, really have a thing for voices. That's one reason why I do listen to a lot of lesbian romance novels, because the voices that they choose for those is just fucking crazy. And I just love a good, deep, raspy, like, feminine voice.
Yeah.
And there's an audiobook that I have been listening to, and I swear to you, I have replayed one of these scenes at least like 3 times in a row, because I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. And I can like see it. I can see it. Like, I'm listening to it and I'm looking ahead and I can see it. And I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing.
Do you think that, like, voices are deal breakers? Like, you have to have a sexy voice in order for you to be even, like, remotely interested in that person?
Yeah, because if you sound weird, there's like just no way.
Yeah.
Like, there's just like, if you no, I love a good like sexy voice, or like even like an accent too. Love those.
Mm-hmm.
But like a nice deep voice, like, please, I'll do anything.
Oh, anything.
Uh-huh.
I like some sounds too. I like the sound of like running water. So like when there's already some water in the item, like, so if you're like halfway done with running a bathtub, like, you know, it goes like blue, blue, blue,
It does a like drip drop.
Yeah, like yeah, like thudding.
Yeah.
I really like that sound, or like the sound of like a waterfall crashing, like at the bottom. Love that shit. I also really enjoy the sound of heels on a hardwood floor, like that click clack.
Oh yeah.
There's nothing like it, truly.
It's like every click, every clack, I'm like feeling it in my coochie.
Like, yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I also really like the rustling of leaves, like with the wind going through them on like an autumn day, and then you hear some neighbors' chimes go like,
ooh, wind chimes plus the leaves. Yeah, that's a good one.
Oh, wow. Life is kind of worth living. Yeah, it does turn me on though. Absolutely. It makes me want to become one with nature. It makes me want to make love underneath a tree.
I do also really like whimpers and begging.
Oh, absolutely.
Those ones.
What would you want them to say?
Just like, please just does so much.
Please.
Like,
Please. Please, Lex.
please.
Wait, do you have a dominant name?
Mistress is usually.
Please, Mistress Lex. Oh, that's what you like?
Please, you have to relax.
Oh.
You have to calm down.
Listen, my goal here is to give everybody a stimulating experience.
Okay.
And since you're right next to me, you're first up.
Hey, I would prefer to be first up. Thanks.
So if any of those sounds, including the sounds of my sexy voice, turned you on, then you might be an oralist, or you might want to like step into figuring out what that means for you. So I have some ways that you can try it out alone or with a partner.
Okay.
And all of this is courtesy of Lilo. They had a great article on it on their website, and they are a sex toy brand.
They are indeed.
Pretty solid from what I've heard. So the first one is cave sex, and that is a term coined by me. But that's when you turn off all the lights, turn off your music, turn off your Netflix, and just like pay attention to how every part of your sexual experience sounds. So if that's by yourself, then maybe how like your breath slows or quickens like as you're masturbating, or maybe the sound that your toy is making against your body. And if you're with a partner, of course, like the kissing sounds and like the sounds of the sheets moving around, and like little, like you said, little whimpers and moans, and like even the
breathing, like breath, Like if I hear your breath stop, I'm like, oh wait.
Oh, like that little catch that look like.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's a really good one.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's a really good one.
Yeah. I like the sound of like bodies. So like the squelching.
Yeah.
Of like thing like.
I like the sounds of hands rubbing on skin.
Ooh.
Oh my god. Yeah, actually I just thought of that just now. Like when you're like feeling up someone, that's the sound. Yeah,
those are good sounds. Yeah, so you can just really pay attention to how those make you feel, and a lot of times they can enhance the experience. Obviously, any kind of sensory play is gonna enhance your experience sexually, especially as a woman, quote unquote. As oralism is more prevalent in women, typically men are more visual creatures, so we kind of have a little more room to play with.
I think that's because their dick gets hard at anything, so they kind of gotta like if you heard if men got as horny as women do, or as like if dicks got as horny as coochies do on a day to day, nah, you be walking around inappropriate in HR at every point of the day.
That's facts. Because the way we hide it and cover it so good, and don't feel like we have to impose on people.
The way I be listening to audiobooks, like squirming in my chair, is insane.
I'm a moaner.
Yeah.
So sometimes I do it even when like it doesn't feel as great as the moan I would give if it felt like that. But it's because it really like hearing my own pleasure like turns me on a lot.
Especially in an echoey room.
Like literally I'm like, wow, bitch, fabulous. And then that makes my pussy wet. And then in turn I'm moaning for real now. So like, are you a moaner?
Yeah.
You're a moaner?
Yeah.
And you prefer a moaner?
Yeah.
Have you ever had quiet sex?
Yeah.
Like,
it's actually awful. And ever since I had it, I have never, ever since then, I've never had an experience where that has been the case. Because, I'm super reactive to, touch and sound, and especially, senses just in general. It kind of feels like a one-man show when it's just me making noises.
Yeah.
And then I start to kind of feel weird because it's am I making too many noises? Am I saying too many things? Things like that. So I feel like I'm just a lot more comfortable with someone who also is vocal. But I haven't really been in situations where I have to tone down any of my sounds. So I most definitely just be letting that shit out.
Hell yeah.
I let that shit out. Don't get me to a really good one. It's more like a high pitched squeal and my toes do this thing.
Oh, like your whole body just before it explodes, it tightens before the explosion.
Indeed.
Yeah. I have definitely been in situations where I should have been being quiet, but I'm very much not. And sometimes I don't even realize how loud I'm being until somebody says it later. They're like, wow, I was like, whoa. And I'm just a girl.
Yeah.
So sometimes I get in the moment and I just don't know how fucking loud I'm being. But I have a story, and I feel kind of nasty, but also it's she knows what she's doing. She fucking knows what she's doing. So it's fine. Whatever. So my friend, two things. My friend that was visiting, I let her use my bocce. And
that's the one right there.
That is the fucking one, and none of you
bitches will ever know what
you'll
she
never
feels
know
like.
Unless you fuck one like me or Lex. You will not know.
You will not
the
know
fucking pleasures of a bocce.
Because the second I meet another coochie, I'm like, yo,
you gotta
I got
try
the
this bitch
perfect
out.
thing for you.
You have to. I know, I have a lot of friends, but a few of my friends are the sexually adventurous. She is one of them. So I was definitely if I tell her to try out this fucking toy right now, she will go fucking try this toy. So she went to go take a shower. She was using the fucking toy, and I could hear the toy because it's kind of loud.
Hearing the toy will make me want to use it so bad.
And it fucking did. I was sitting on the couch and I could just hear the shower going, and then I heard the toy going, and then of course this girl moans so loud. It's I almost was like, okay, what the fuck are we doing? But it is
peeks in. Hello.
Did you need some help? But yeah, she was moaning so loud, and I was sitting on the couch whoa, like my whole body is vibrating right now. I'm like, wow, I want her to stop because I feel like a creep, but I don't want her to stop. And then she came out and she was like, she had her hair wrapped up in the only towel. So of course she was like butt naked. She walked out and she goes, wow, girl, this was amazing. Thank you so much. And I'm just like, you're welcome. Excuse me. And then when we went to sleep, I got up in the middle of the night, went to the couch, and I used the fucking bocce. Yes. And I came really hard. And then in the morning, she was like, I heard you. And it was hot. And this is the dance we play. So then the other day, we were just chatting. Like, she had texted me about like some ball gags. She was like, what are your feelings on this one? Like, what are they used for? Like, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, it's just to me, they're really good if you like drool. Like, if you like spit, great for that. If like they want to catch the spit from down your body, or like if they just like to see that visual, like that to me is really where they shine.
You're screaming at me right now.
Am I? Yeah. I think I'm whispering. So anyway, then later she just randomly sends me a clip of her getting fucked, and she's moaning super loud, and I literally have watched that video 87 times. Yeah. I watched it in the parking lot of my doctor's appointment. I gotta
relive this again.
I watched it before going into the office. I watched it when I went to sleep. It was fabulous.
I love that.
Shout out to you, girl. Thanks. I know what you beat away. Anyway, I say to say, like, it's the moaning for me. Like, more than the visual of it, it is definitely the moaning for me. That'll definitely get me super turned on.
Yeah.
So another, what do you call this, tip for oralism would be erotic audio, which, Lex, I know you talk a lot on the pod about your sexy lesbian audiobooks.
Absolutely.
So I want to ask you, do you masturbate to these, like, later on? Like, do you put a little pin in the chapter and then you come back to it at night and you're like, okay, I'm about to fuck my shit up to this?
So not like in that way, but like, I think because most of the time I'm listening to an audiobook, I'm listening to it at work, or I'm listening to it in the car on my way from work or to work. But like today, the scene that I was listening to, that I will be screen recording and sending to you.
Oh, please.
Because it was insane. Oh my God. Ugh. Anyway, the inseam on my pants today, like when I was sitting, I like, and you know, you'd kind of discover it on accident because you like just kind of shift a little.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, hold on. And so now I'm like driving in traffic and I'm like focusing too much to the point where I'm not actually focusing on traffic. And this is the point where I was like, okay, you have to calm down.
You have to chill.
Yeah, because
I was coming on I-35.
Yo, it was 75. Thank you very much.
They do have more lanes.
Yes.
It's a little safer.
Yeah. And the speed limit's 70. So, you know, nobody's paying attention to me. But yeah, I was like sitting there driving, and like while she's talking about it, I'm like shifting my hips like side to side, and I'm like getting the tingles. I'm like, yeah, you gotta relax.
Wow. So do you have a favorite narrator?
Yes.
Okay.
Abby Craden is really that girl.
Abby Craden.
Yeah, and she does like, you know, because I'm American and I hear accents, I'm like, oh, this is a good accent because this is what I assume that someone sounds like from there, you know?
Yeah.
But don't quote me on that girl, because she might not be, if you're from Scotland, because there's a character in the book that's
from Scottish.
Yeah,
okay.
So
she does the Scottish accent.
She has the accent, and I think it's
it
great.
believable?
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, you sound like a fucking leprechaun, bitch. Like, absolutely.
Ireland.
Oh, there we go. One of them. Whatever. They're basically cousins.
Don't disrespect Hozier like that.
They're cousins. It's fine. But yeah, she does it so well. I'm like, yeah, bitch, this is good. But she has like a lot. She does a lot of the characters that have like deep sultry voices, and that's just my shit right there. And then like this one, she's like older. It's like MILF lesbian kind of thing happening. Yeah. Okay, and then she's like powerhouse also.
Okay,
and then add in her saying please, please, please in that way. I'm like, this bitch is crazy for putting this just freely on Audible like that. Oh my God. Like, it's insane. There are so many, like, I have searched her name more than I have searched an author's name, because sometimes the story won't be very good, but her narration is really good.
Yeah.
And she she just does them sexing so well. So I'm like, I keep coming back, girl.
There's nothing like a good narrator. I don't read as many spicy audiobooks. I have read them and they are very spicy. I was a Zane girl growing up because my mom was a Zane girl growing up. So I read a lot of her books during the summer. But I do listen to this website that my cousin sent me, and it's called Soundgasm.
Oh, I think you were talking about this on a different episode.
Oh, I did. Oh, yeah, because it was I was new. Yeah, but if you haven't heard me talk about it, it's called Soundgasm, and it's great because it's kind of like Reddit for audio porn and audio erotica, and like the difference between, I would say, audiobooks and like Soundgasm audio erotica is like, there's a story. There's definitely a story and there's characters and stuff, but like it's more like a conversation between two people. Instead of you reading it like, you know, Amber said as she slid her hands inside of the pussy. Instead, it's like some sexy black mask person reaching over the seat to unbuckle your seatbelt and like slide down your skirt, but like they're talking to you. So it'll be like, oh no, you don't see the lever? Oh, let me grab that.
Oh, it's like a POV kind of thing.
Yeah, baby. Unbutton that skirt for me. Scoot down just a little bit.
Okay.
Oh my God. You feel so good. Your pussy is so wet. How did it get that wet?
Please relax.
I was listening to it on the way here, bitch. I found a good one.
You're staring me right in my eyes. I'm like, oh my God, gotta calm down.
I'm sorry. I have nowhere else to look. But it's good. But it is definitely like POV style.
Yeah.
So it takes a while to find the right channels on Soundgasm because it is very much like Reddit. It's like
there's a million.
There's a million, yeah. So if you need suggestions, please DM me, or you can join our Discord.
Yes.
And I'll pop the links in there, and I'm sure Lex will share the titles of the audiobooks that she's been listening to in the Discord as well.
Absolutely.
So if you are interested in erotic audiobooks, join our Discord for the details.
Yeah.
But like I was saying, it is kind of hard to find Black representation on Soundgasm, but
I just imagine that everybody's Black. And
sure. But you know, this is like, there's certain authors that you're like, there's no way. And in particular, there's this, she sounds to me like she's like Dominican from New York.
Yeah.
But like also kind of like Italian Tony Soprano. Like she's a mask.
She sounds like
and
that.
She like, it seems like she would like grease her hair back and wear a leather jacket and say like, hi, you toots. Like that
one lady from Abbott.
Yeah, kind of like that accent, but like more mask and more like chill. Like,
okay.
And it's like they smoke a cigarette or something.
Okay.
And like, I like them because they're very dominant. So like they usually have like a lot of erotica about like little girlfriends like coming home and then her looking so good in her sundress and then you just taking her in the kitchen. And I like that. I like that little Mask for Femme vibe, as you know I do. Mm-hmm. So I really fuck with that. I fuck with her. And then I have found Black lesbian narrators as well. And that's been like fabulous. And I love it because they do sound effects. Like if they're really good, then they'll have like the sound of the car turning on or the car door slamming. Or like somebody put a slowed down version of Die For You and one of The Weeknd's other songs, like it was a famous one, but like slow down in the background, like they're driving, and like you just hear it the whole time, but it doesn't interfere with anything. It's just like a really nice touch. So it's very ASMR-y in that way. That. Yeah, it's hot as fuck. Anyway, yeah. So I think there's like a difference, but it just depending on what you want, you can find sexy audiobooks on Audible. You can find some of them definitely on Spotify. You can find them on Dipsy, and then Soundgasm. Yeah. You want to say something?
No.
No.
Go ahead.
Okay. ASMR is obviously another way that you can dip your little toes into oralism. Mm-hmm. ASMR, if you don't know, is the autonomous sensory meridian response, and that's like the tingling sensations that you get in response to certain sounds, like whispers and you can't hear it in this mic, but
Yeah, those sounds.
Scraping,
those bitches
tapping.
on TikTok that have the wooden spoon in the water.
Oh my fucking God. I hate when I get those lives.
Sound. Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck? I always feel like they are literally laced with devil shit. So I don't really stop on any lives because I feel like that is the energy that they're giving.
Oh no.
But okay, anyway.
I don't want that.
And there are channels dedicated to sexual ASMR as well. So some of the sexual examples that I saw were condom unwrappings.
Okay.
Or like blowing of condoms or stretching, or like the sound of them snapping. Spreading lube all over parts of the body. So like that squelching noise and the gliding as well.
I like a good smack of like a paddle.
Yeah, you like that?
I like the sound of it. I like the feel of it too, but I like the sound of it and like a flogger, like a heavy flogger, the thud.
I
like
love that
sound.
flap sound of the flogger.
Yeah, it sounds so good.
It does.
Yeah.
And then there are like even massaging and moaning ASMRs that's just like moaning.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. I'd probably be into it, honestly.
I have an audio of like an encounter I had, and there's like this one part of it where it's like I'm listening to myself come and I'm like, oh, this is really good. This is really good. I also really like the sounds of my own moans. I think I sound fucking sexy as fuck.
So do you come from that?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm like, this is kind of crazy. And then I kind of feel like I'm like having the orgasm again too.
Yeah, that's exactly what you're doing. You're amplifying the orgasm.
Yeah.
It is a manifestation tool. You need to be using it to make yourself rich and famous and hotter and richer and famouser than you already are. Okay. Wow. That's shocking. I'm about to record myself having a really good orgasm, and then I'm going to orgasm to that every night.
It's fucking insane.
Wow. Your Venus energy is off the fucking charts right now.
My Venus isn't... No, my Venus is in Virgo.
But you're a Venusian.
That's
because
true.
You are a Libra. So it's just already in you, babe. And then lastly, you can be mindful. And I know that sounds really...
demure and cutesy, too.
It's very demure. But seriously, start taking notice of sounds during mundane moments of your everyday life that are pleasurable to you. So like birds outside, cars passing by, bodies of water, your favorite song even. Like if you make a mental note of the sounds that arouse you spiritually, emotionally, creatively, and not just physically, you can kind of like spark that inspiration and that creativity in yourself.
Yeah.
And when that sacral energy is being moved, it just doesn't stop. I find myself that like when I'm writing a lot or when I'm having a lot of fun, like dancing and moving my body, that I'm typically more horny. Like I have more desire because that desire is being like moved throughout my body in different ways all day. So like being mindful is really important to like any pleasure practice because we can find pleasure in everything. And once our bodies get used to like finding that pleasure in everything, it just gets easier and easier to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I do have like 2 questions for the Gworls.
Okay.
Would you consider yourself to be like an oralist?
Yeah, absolutely. There's if there is a word that is for like having your senses stimulated, no matter what the sense is, and like that turning you on, that is also because there are things I can look at and like get turned on, but lots of things in my ears turn me on.
And you like your ears being titillated too and
I do.
licked and suckled on and
I
stuff?
I love when you like whispering in my ear. Okay. And then like whispering in my ear and like touching on me, like telling me what you're going to do to me or telling me what you're going to do for me.
Lex,
like
tonight I'm going to edit this whole podcast. I'm going to upload it for you.
Perfect.
Okay. I'll stop. I just feel like my goal here today is to give you everybody an audio sexual experience.
Yeah, she want my coochie to fall off. That's what I heard.
I'll put it back on.
Just
I got some super glue in my purse.
I'll paper clip it back. I got a safety pin.
Okay.
What about you?
Yeah. I definitely do. I love the sound of my own voice.
Yeah.
I like the sound of other people's voices. And I definitely come the hardest to these like little erotic audio sessions that I listen to.
Absolutely.
100%. There's just something like very, I don't know. Like, maybe it is because you can put yourself in the situation a little bit more because you don't have something that's in front of you telling you exactly what everything looks like and how it's going in and how much pleasure they're having. The world is just your oyster in your mind.
Yeah.
So the next question is, would you listen to an ASMR voice if it was mine?
Obviously.
And you think you could get off from that?
Yeah.
My job here is done.
Absolutely.
And can you tell the listeners where to find us in your sexiest audio erotic voice?
Oh, I haven't practiced this before.
You haven't practiced finding your voice? You already have a sexy voice. Just drag it out a little bit.
Now I have so much pressure on me.
Oh my God, not at all. It's fine.
It just came out of nowhere.
I did put you on the spot.
You did, just a little bit. You can find us at allyourpleasures_ on Instagram or at thepleasuresallyours.com. You can also keep an eye out for any Discord updates since we will be having a Discord channel for all of our pleasure babes.
Yes.
And yeah, where else can they find us?
Subscribe and like
Spotify.
our YouTube. Yeah, Spotify, Apple Music, anywhere you get your podcasts. This is our 100th episode. So I just want to tell everybody thank you for sticking with us. It's been definitely a journey, and we just get better and sexier and more refined as we go.
Absolutely. Heavy on the better and sexier.
Absolutely. Whether you're listening to this on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we love you. Bye.